Today, we will explore a concept deeply rooted in Buddhism, generosity, or dana, as it is called in the tradition. More than just giving material goods, the practice of generosity is a path to transforming the mind, cultivating compassion, and fostering harmony around us. Imagine for a moment, what would the world look like if each of us performed a small act of kindness every day? Have you ever stopped to think about the impact a simple gesture of generosity can have, not only on the life of the person receiving it, but also on the one offering it? In Buddhism, dana is the foundation of a rich spiritual life, because it teaches detachment and altruism. By sharing what we have, be it a smile, a moment of attention, or a material object, we begin to dissolve selfishness and connect with others in a genuine way. Throughout this video, we will delve into what generosity means according to Buddhist teachings, why it is so powerful, and how you can incorporate it into your daily life, even in small moments. We will also explore the common challenges in this practice and how to overcome them, drawing inspiration from real stories and practical examples. Generosity is not just an external act, it is a spiritual practice that transforms us from the inside out. Now, let's discover together how you can embark on this journey and bring more light into your daily life. In Buddhism, generosity, or dana, is more than just the act of giving. It is a state of mind, a pure intention to benefit others without expecting anything in return. When we practice generosity, we cultivate an open and detached heart, allowing the natural flow of kindness to permeate our actions and thoughts. Dana is often described as an antidote to attachment and selfishness. Think about how often we cling to material things, feelings, or even ideas, fearing the loss of something important. Generosity, on the other hand, invites us to let go of this attachment, allowing our resources, energy, and attention to flow toward the well-being of others. There are various ways to practice generosity. Offering tangible resources, such as food, clothing, or money, to those in need. Sharing wisdom, knowledge, or guidance with those seeking help. Helping someone feel safe or alleviating their suffering. Demonstrating care, empathy, and genuine presence. Each of these acts reflects an intention to ease suffering and bring happiness, aligning us with the greater purpose of the Buddhist path. In Buddhism, teachers describe 3 levels of generosity. 1. Giving reluctantly, when we give but feel attachment or difficulty in letting go. 2. Giving with friendliness and goodwill, when the act is done with joy and human connection. 3. Giving like a king, when we offer something with complete detachment, expecting nothing in return, like a generous monarch caring for their people. This highest level is considered the purest expression of generosity, as it transcends any selfishness or expectation. Why is dana so emphasized in Buddhism? Because it is seen as the foundation of the entire spiritual path. When we practice generosity, we begin to purify the mind, reducing tendencies like greed, jealousy, and attachment. This process helps us develop essential qualities such as compassion, equanimity, and wisdom. Moreover, the practice of dana connects us with the reality of interdependence. We realize that we are all part of a greater whole, and our actions can profoundly impact others and the world around us. As we reflect on these aspects, we begin to understand that generosity is not merely an external gesture, but an internal transformation. Practicing generosity goes beyond simply helping someone. In Buddhism, it is seen as a transformative practice that benefits both the giver and the receiver. Let's explore the key reasons that make generosity such a powerful practice. In the Buddhist context, generosity is a way to accumulate merits, a concept representing the positive fruits of our actions. These merits help purify the mind and pave a more harmonious path toward enlightenment. When we practice dana, we start to untangle the knots of attachment, which are major sources of suffering. Attachment leads us to believe we need to hold on to everything for ourselves, but generosity dissolves this mindset, helping us find freedom and lightness. Additionally, generosity fosters a state of joy and contentment. The act of giving with a pure heart activates feelings of connection and gratitude, nourishing our spiritual practice and strengthening our commitment to the Dharma path. Generosity not only transforms our inner world but also impacts our relationships and surroundings. When we act generously, we create deeper and more genuine bonds with those around us. A simple act of kindness can open doors to dialogue, empathy, and the building of more harmonious communities. Buddhist stories are filled with examples of transformative generosity. One famous case is that of Prince Vesantara, a figure from the Buddhist canon who gave up all his possessions, including his crown, to alleviate the suffering of others. His story exemplifies the courage and compassion required to practice generosity at its highest level. Another inspiring example is that of monks and practitioners who dedicate their lives to serving communities, offering not only spiritual teachings but also practical help, such as caring for the sick and feeding the hungry. These examples show us that generosity is not measured by the size of the act, but by the purity of the intention. The practice of generosity in daily life doesn't need to be grand or complex. Often, the simplest gestures have the greatest impact. Here, we will explore practical ways to cultivate dana in our everyday lives, addressing both concrete actions and internal attitudes that strengthen this practice. Generosity doesn't depend on wealth or abundant resources. It can begin with small but meaningful actions. Sincerely complimenting someone or expressing gratitude is a powerful form of giving. We often underestimate the impact our words can have on someone's life. Small gestures, like holding the door for someone, offering a seat on public transport, or helping a neighbor with a task, are examples of generosity that can brighten someone's day. No matter how simple it seems, a genuine smile can be an offering of human warmth, especially for someone going through a tough day. These acts may appear small, but they carry an energy that spreads, creating ripples of kindness around us. In the age of technology, where attention is constantly contested, offering your time fully is a rare and precious gift. When someone seeks us out to talk, we are often distracted, preoccupied with our own concerns. Practicing active listening, being completely present without judgment or interruption, is a form of generosity that nurtures both the speaker and the listener. Devoting your time to help a friend or family member, whether with a practical task or simply through your presence, strengthens bonds and provides comfort. While not everyone can donate large sums of money, material generosity can be practiced in many ways, regardless of available resources. Offering clothes, food, or useful items to people or institutions in need is a direct way to alleviate suffering. Small acts, such as picking up litter in a park or planting trees, are also ways to give back to the planet, benefiting everyone. Even something as simple as sharing a homemade meal with a neighbor or friend can strengthen bonds and spread warmth. Patience is a virtue that, in Buddhism, is also considered a form of generosity. When we are patient, we offer others the space to be imperfect. Instead of reacting with irritation when someone makes a mistake, we can practice the generosity of offering understanding and compassion. When we encounter opinions or attitudes that displease us, practicing patience helps us cultivate harmony in our relationships rather than creating conflict. As enriching as the practice of generosity may be, it's not uncommon to encounter internal and external barriers that make it challenging to apply. These challenges are part of the process, and overcoming them deepens our ability to give authentically and selflessly. Often, the greatest obstacles to generosity lie within ourselves. Identifying these barriers is the first step to overcoming them. A common thought is, what if I need this in the future? This fear is rooted in a scarcity mindset, which leads us to believe that resources are limited and must be hoarded to feel secure. We might cling to objects, feelings, or ideas, believing they define who we are. This makes it hard to let go, even when we know it would benefit others. Sometimes, we resist generosity because we fear losing more than material goods, control, status, or recognition. These barriers are not signs of failure but opportunities for spiritual growth. Practicing generosity doesn't have to be perfect from the start. With gradual steps and consistent practice, it is possible to overcome the obstacles that arise. Performing small acts of generosity helps reduce the fear of scarcity. For example, donating a small amount or spending a few minutes helping someone is already a significant step. Don't pressure yourself to let go of something you still value deeply. Work towards creating a healthier relationship with your possessions, starting by sharing things that are not essential. As we practice generosity, we begin to see that our resistances are, in fact, teachers that help us grow. Many inspiring stories of perseverance show how the practice of generosity can transform both the giver and the receiver. Generosity is a powerful antidote to suffering, as it dissolves attachment, selfishness, and the scarcity mindset. In return, it cultivates qualities such as compassion, detachment, and interconnectedness. Every act of dana, no matter how small, is a step toward a more harmonious life, both internally and in our relationships. In everyday life, practicing generosity doesn't mean giving what you don't have but offering what you can: time, kind words, full attention, or even a simple smile. Simple gestures have the power to transform not only the life of the recipient but also that of the giver.